Rule number one of police gunfights: never expect a perp to do something that makes sense. Hi everybody, welcome to today's bonus badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I'm your host as always, John Correa. Back with me, my favorite sidekick and one of my best friends, Mike Williver.
Today's video comes to us from Sparks, Nevada.
This is not a paid endorsement, but I am a brand ambassador for Heckler & Koch for a reason. HK firearms are incredibly high quality, and when it's time to step up out of the entry tier, they're the only ones I recommend. You carry a gun just in case. Shouldn't it be an HK just in case? Police at first tried to initiate a stop on this vehicle after receiving a 911 call that she was acting crazy and screaming at people. Then she ran a red light, they chased her for a while, and then, she was running several other red lights and endangering the public. So you're gonna see here the officer actually turn his lights off and actually terminate the pursuit here in just a second because they're worried about the safety of the community. And as soon as he does, she is actually going to stop her car, get out, and accost these officers. We have badge cam and dash cam audio from here, so let's listen in.
Right now we're approaching McCarran. Copy, not stopping. We'll terminate. Ran to our red lights. One-on-one. I'm at Dottie. Checking it out.
Got one at gunpoint. Stop! Shots fired. Shots fired. You good? Stop right there. Stop right there. Oh shit. Losing the thing?
One-on-one. I'm at Dottie. Checking it out.
Shots fired. Shots fired. You good? Stop right there. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, I'm good. You? Yeah, I'm good. Do a tactical reload. Okay. Wait. Let me reload first. Okay, go. You're good. Okay. Pyramid McCarran on northbound turn lane. A firm. All right. We'll just hang tight right here till cover gets here. Get back. Come back.
All you guys all good?
Yeah, we're good.
Hey Brian, start telling people where you want them to start shutting everything down at.
Just shut down number 1 lane and the turn lane going northbound on Pyramid, and then eastbound McCarran turn lane. Her vehicle's kind of in the intersection. No, not until cover gets here.
Yeah, I reached out to Sparks PD. I spoke with someone there who told me last they knew she had actually survived this incident.
That is pretty crazy. I can't find anything in news stories in terms of charges either, so we're gonna learn lessons either way. Man, I think the first look through on that one was like, wait, what just happened here? And it was only later when you go, oh my goodness, that's serious stuff. If you want to get better with your marksmanship skills, which I think are critically important, come over and see us on the Active Self-Protection Extra YouTube channel. We post 8 videos a week with drills, tips, techniques to help you be better when all the chips are down.
And it's free.
So we pick it up here as they terminate the pursuit. So, okay, you would expect her to keep going at this point, but again, people who are altered states of consciousness are gonna do these kinds of crazy things, so you gotta be ready for them to go from there. Now, the thing that boggles my mind is, you notice our first sign that something is really crazy here is you see those reverse lights come on real quick, which tells you she's putting it in park, which tells you she's getting out of the car.
Yeah, that made me nervous the second I saw it. I'm like, uh-oh, what's about to happen?
Bad things are coming.
Yeah, for sure. I think they responded as fast as they could to this very evolving situation, and they changed gears pretty quickly, obviously.
So that to me means mental flexibility, officers. You've got to have the ability to go, I'm expecting her to go away, she doesn't, and now what's going to happen? And you just got to respond to the stimulus that's in front of you in the best way possible, which means a high level of training. Now, she gets out of the car and she has a rifle on her person and then starts screaming at the officer and literally starts screaming and raises that rifle at him. Now we see him on his badge cam now. Now if you go read the news story, come to find out it was actually like a pellet gun or a paintball gun. But he can't see that here. You can see him step out here, sees her raise the rifle up at him. And again, why can we not see that? Well, you saw it was just off of his dash cam. He's not, that's not his fault. And here, the only thing I would say is that, you can't see it, but you can't necessarily tell because the badge cam has a different setting than his Mark 1 Mod 0 eyeballs, so he can see things that we necessarily can't.
My initial thought when I saw the reverse lights flash like that when she was stopping the car, she was going to run. And it looked for just a second like she was going to take off running.
Right.
So they had to adjust they had to switch gears like twice in the matter of 4 seconds. Okay, she's stopping the car for some reason after we terminated pursuit, and now she's running. No, she's not running. She's aiming a rifle at me.
Right. The only thing I would also encourage here, I know that this officer does have a light on his pistol. Most departments, they do very little training in low light situations, very little training in using your pistol mounted light. So you have to get that kind of training. And what I generally teach is using the support side thumb as your operating agent on that pistol mounted light to get that up to see as absolutely best you can and give you the best chance. Though he did an okay job here. She points a rifle at him and you can see it right there. You can see her then again after he's already shooting her, you see that weapon kind of drop. Now come to find out, again, it ended up being a paintball gun, but you can't ask somebody to see that in the moment. She clearly, presented a threat of death or great bodily harm to him and intended that to be the case. And so, okay, now the secondary officer also fired. And actually, I think that tells me even more that the primary officer was justified because the other officer saw the same thing.
It's impossible. Even if it were broad daylight, there's no way to tell if it's a pellet gun or a rifle. You don't have time to make that decision. You gotta deal with the facts that are presented to you.
Yes. So, and again, I also like that now. Okay, now we've got this thing here. She's down. The rifle's away from her. Great. Now, I do want to say, again, he used his pistol-mounted light, but used it later administratively. I think that in this case, generally speaking, we say your handheld light is for administrative functions. However, I just had to shoot this person. So having my firearm instead, really important here, and having a firearm with a light on it that has enough candela that I can see their hands from a little ways away in a complex lighting situation, valuable.
I can't tell you how many times on a search warrant, when we're done clearing and someone's still using their gun-mounted light to look for something, administratively.
Terrible
made me
idea.
and I call them on it every time. It made me extremely nervous. Bad idea. Additionally, you could tell from the light, he's not covering down right on her. Right. He's got it just below, which is exactly what you want to see. He can see, she's illuminated. He can see what she's doing or not doing. He can see the weapon. Really good technique here.
My only consideration here, they are sitting here, is I would encourage you, think about just for a minute, is there anybody else in that car?
Right.
They haven't cleared the car yet. You want to make sure that and get to a place where that this perp isn't necessarily expecting you. Very difficult to do with the two of you. That's why they get a bunch of other units in here, but something for us to think about. Now I'm going to say something here that's maybe a little against the grain to some of the officers out there, but as we go back to the other officer, he tells him, hold on man, let me do a tactical reload. So he is going to do a tactical exchange of his magazines. I would prefer and encourage you to do a proactive reload instead. And that is, we have never seen somebody who has actually used the rounds from a retained magazine in order to win a gunfight. So your better bet here in this kind of situation, it's not quite emergency, drop that magazine, put a new one in the gun so that it's full. I like that he topped it off, but I don't think futzing around with an extra magazine is worth it.
Agreed. This is something we call the tactical exchange or something like that.
Yeah.
I never
Very
really liked
common.
it all that much. And yeah, that mag, just get rid of it. It's fine. Get rid of it, top your gun off, and you should have a couple more mags on you anyway.
Yeah, and you should have probably at least 3 of them on you. You should be okay. And that is, not mine necessarily. I didn't invent that. That's Tom Givens who taught me that proactive reload. So that's his technique. Now, I like that, hey, they've got help on the way and they are slowing their roll. So they know that they've got more help coming. They know that more is on the way. So they're just going to slow up. And I know some people are going to ask, like, well, wait a minute, why don't they go and render aid? Well, the bottom line is, this person's just pointed a gun at you. You don't know what other capabilities that they have, and you need more hands on deck to safely get them into custody, because too many times we see these people reemerge as threats.
If they approach her right now and she does pop up with something else, well, then she's definitely going to die because they're going to have to shoot her again. So just give it a second. I'm sure they knew that their backup wasn't that far away. And in this situation, yeah, it's better to just hold off.
So crazy evolving situation, an outcome that we don't love, of course, because this is a person who clearly was disturbed and had gotten shot by the cops, and that's never a good thing because nobody comes out of that as a good thing. But I think all things considered, these officers did a very good job given what they had in front of them. I think they protected themselves and covered their asp.